Hello everyone and happy patch day. Just figured out the macros for the latest recipes. First things first, let's go through the melts. Now the main gear melts is still the same as last patch, only the tools changed. So as usual, I'm gonna go through the gear. You can pause the video to copy them. Tools, main hand and offhand only changed. Everything else is the same. That was the exact reason last patch we did not go hard on tool melts. This was exact the reason, so we don't have to spend a lot of gil and then have to spend a lot of gil again to remelt. We only spent a little gil and then now we did the proper melts on tools. So there you go. These are the stats without food and potion. So first, let's go through the 35 durability. The food was also changed. Before we was using Ronic steak, but now we have to use the latest craftsmanship food, this one. Otherwise, we don't meet the minimum requirements for the macro. For the 70 durability one. For the 35 durability one, if you have some Ronic steak left over, you can still use it. But for the 70 durability, we need this one. What you can do is use Ronic steak to get the base materials ready, the amount of HQ materials you need, and then go over to this for the final products. And I will also make cheap melts. The only difference between cheap and expensive melts, this is the expensive one obviously. The only difference will be that you need more HQ mats when you do cheap melts. The craftsmanship, I'm gonna go for the same amount. Alright, let's do 35 durability. I changed class, but I think my melds are the same for goldsmith and alchemist. I did it the same exact way. Just double checking so you don't get confused. Yeah, okay, good. Alright, let's do a 35 durability. Here is macro number 1. This macro is the same as the last 35 durability one. It was just copied and pasted and it worked. So that was less work for me. Okay, number 2. Tricks of the trade is there in case you get excellent. Tricks of the trade will go off during excellent. And great strides will go off during poor condition. And then Byregots on normal condition. That's a failsafe to avoid Byregots on poor condition. Alright, so there is that one. 100%. Now let's do the final product. For this one you need at least 15 CP from medicine. So syrup HQ and above. Don't forget. And then I have not figured out the minimum quality, starting quality. I think it's somewhere between 4,500 and 5,500. Since this is day 1 and we need a lot of crafts to figure the minimum out, I will update the macro page as I get closer and closer to the minimum requirement. For now, let's do a couple crafts and test it. Since I'm also not using any other tools outside of the main game itself, I can't really figure it out easy. It's just a lot of trial and error until that is out. I make all of my macros with only the game itself. I don't use any outside stuff. Alright, so let's first test with 4700. Okay, macro number 1. I had to tweak this a little bit. We were missing, even with the food change and craftsmanship based melds on the tools, we were still missing progress, so I tweaked this a little bit. I removed the trained finesse from the second macro and replaced it with veneration for it to work. So we are losing a bit of quality, but not that much from previous 70 durability macro. Alright, number 2. Let's see. Hopefully we don't get good condition on the last few touches. Then the minimum requirement quality start will be more representative. Well, that doesn't help. That was a good condition. %85%. That was before Byragots. Oh, wow. Wow, that went really well. Maybe I had too much quality at the start. Or I was actually not paying attention to how many good conditions we had. Okay, let's do one more test. Let's only use the gem sap as HQ. 2300 at the start. This will probably not 100%, but we wanna see how the level we are at. So just do trial and error for yourself, figure out the minimum requirement. I'm gonna do the same on my end and update the macro page. For now, I will write something after the making of this video. Alright, number 1. I will work on cheap melds as well before Savage comes out. I will have it out by Friday evening or Friday night. So you can work on your gear in the weekend with cheap melds if you wanted to. Okay, that's good. 28%. Byragot. 89%. Okay, we're missing 1200. Okay, so it's around 3500 to 4000 starting quality. It's a bit hard to do that with the accessories here. We can try to do it with this one. 3500. Let's just buy a quick 2 of that to test it with. Oh, only NQ HQ available. We can do a couple NQ ones. Oh yeah, that's a good opportunity to show you the NQ macro as well for when you don't want to HQ materials. This is the macro for that. It's just a muscle memory, veneration, waste not 2, and 2 groundworks. Just like that. Another one. Lidl quality, yeah. Alright. Back to Goldsmith. Let's test 3500. I think this is more representative here. I'm gonna write this one in the macro page now. As I get closer to the real number, then I'll update it. But I think this is a good quality amount to start with this macro and my stats and my melts. Okay, number 2. This is so far so good. We haven't got good conditions to disturb it. Ah, damn it. I jinxed it. I fucking jinxed it. Oh well. Yeah, I'll just assume that's a good one. I can do another test, why not? Hopefully this time. I'm only gonna do one more. You get the idea. To be extra safe, go with the 4000 plus quality at the start. But I think 3500 is I think that's where I'm gonna be for a while. And you can get a lot of the starting quality with the gem sabs. And the good thing about the gem sabs is that you get 3 per recipe. So you can save time just HQing these, and the other ones in queue most of them with the Lidl quality macro. Just keep an eye on the good conditions. What is that I'm crafting, by the way? I didn't check. Is that... I don't know what the hell that is. It's one of the new Savage gear anyway. Battle gear. The early good conditions doesn't change a whole lot. It's just when you start to get to 7 inner quiet, then the good conditions will matter a lot more for the testings. Okay, good. This was really good. All right. So we're missing 600. Okay. This was a really good craft, actually. We didn't get good conditions, and we saw that we're missing 600, and we started with 3,500. Okay, so 4,100 is the minimum to start with. Well, it's hard to get to that amount because you end up with 4,700 instead, which is almost guarantees you. The only time it will not hit 100% with this amount is if you get Byregots on poor condition. Alright, so there you go. That's the guide. The next one will be the cheap melts. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please leave a like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.